Hey guys, it's Destiny, and today we're going to be talking about my favorite ghostly maid, Rina, and her adorable puppets. I just need you guys to look at how freaking cute these things are because they are literally so adorable. Before we get into today's video though, comment down below your favorite snack. It can literally be anything. I just want to know. If you guys do enjoy videos like these though, make sure to subscribe to win your next 50/50 in Zenless and also leave a like to support the video. Now, let's get straight into it. First things first, we have to start with Rina's kit. Rina is an electric support character who is part of the Victoria housekeeping faction. Rina is a long-range character who uses those cute puppets I mentioned, Drusilla and Anastella, to attack enemies. And her puppets are very crucial for her buffing capabilities, but we'll get into that in a little bit. To begin with Rina's moveset, her basic attack, Wham the Dimwit, which this is just one of the funniest names for a basic attack. This will deal 4 hits and she will send out Drusilla and Anastella, and they can deal physical as well as electric damage. What's really cool though about Rina's basic attacks is that if you use another attack during her basic attack combo, it won't interrupt her basic attack combo count. For example, you could do 3 basic attacks with Rina, use her special attack, and then finish her basic attack combo without any issues. Rina also has an attack that you can hold, and it could either be holding the basic button or skill button, and this is referred to as Shoo the Fool. This will make Anastella and Drusilla come back to Rina and now create this really cool meteor shower of attacks around Rina. The hold attack is pretty nice for close range scenarios where you can inflict a bunch of attacks onto an enemy, build up electric anomaly, and can create nice combos with her special attack and normal basic attacks. Rina will have increased anti-interruption while holding her basic attack or skill as well. As for Rina's dodges, her dash attack will deal physical damage while her dodge counter Bangboos callback will inflict electric damage by sending out Drusilla and Anastella and causing an explosion. Rina will also be invulnerable during this attack, which means that she cannot take any damage. When it comes to Rina's quick assist, she'll be able to order Drusilla and Anastella to spin forward, cause an explosion, and deal electric damage. As for her evasive assist, she'll be able to dodge the enemy, and if you press the skill button after using her evasive assist, you can trigger her assist follow-up. Rina will be able to create an electric vortex with Drusilla and Anastella with her follow-up. Her evasive assist is a really nice way to gain distance between you and an enemy and be able to deal electric damage as well as electric anomaly buildup if you trigger her assist follow-up. Next, we have her special attacks. Her normal special attack, Beat the Blockhead, will send out Anastella to deal electric damage to an enemy. What's really interesting though about Rina's special attack in particular is that she'll be able to have more anomaly buildup and damage if you are close range to the enemy, since Anastella will be able to deal more bounce attacks to the enemy in comparison. If you are all the way far away, you'll be able to now have more bounces. And if you are far, then you'll see Anastella bounce up to the enemy, but she won't actually do many bounce attacks onto that enemy, unfortunately. The distance will depend, of course, on the situation. You can either use her attack from a distance or close up, but it definitely is worth mentioning that Anastella will be able to deal more bounce attacks onto an enemy if you are closer up. As for Rina's special EX attack, Dimwit Disappearing Trick, this will send out Anastella once again to deal electric damage to an enemy. This will be great for electric anomaly buildup, and Rina's special attacks are really nice to take advantage of her core passive, which I'll get into this shortly on how to play Rina and possible combos you could do with her. As for Rina's chain attack though, Code of Conduct, Drusilla and Anastella will create an electrical field. During this attack, the puppets can't actually do their normal basic attack, special attack, dash attack, and so on unless you hold the basic attack button to recall Rina's puppets to her side. But typically speaking, when you're playing Rina using her in rotation, Rina will use her chain attack and you would then go into another character on your team. As for Rina's ultimate, the Queen's Attendant, she'll be able to deal a nice amount of damage to enemies with her puppets, and similar to her chain attack, you can only recall her puppets during the attack by holding down that basic button. Rina's attacks, though, are pretty simple for the most part. They're great ways to build up electric anomaly as well as deal additional damage output to enemies. Where Rina really shines, though, is her core passive and her additional ability. Rina's core passive, Mini Destructive Partner, will allow Rina to give the entire team a pen ratio buff as long as your Stella or Anastella is on the field. This buff goes away when her puppets come back to her side. So why this is really important is because pen ratio is essentially allowing you to ignore a percentage of an enemy's defense. And this is just a very useful buff to have for team comps to deal additional damage to enemies. This buff will be based off of 25% of Rina's pen ratio plus 12% as a flat rate up to a maximum of 30% pen ratio buff for the entire team at maximum level. For quick math on how much pen ratio you would want on your Rina, your end goal will be for 72% pen ratio to be able to maximize the pen ratio buff for the team. And when you build her, you'll just want to try to get as much as you can to get near to that 72%. For having a high uptime for Rina's pen ratio buff though, you'll have to take advantage of quick assists as well as switch tech. Which, funnily enough, I was asking EO, what should I call this? And he told me he'll call it switch tech himself. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna copy what you call it. But regardless, Rina's puppets will stay on the field for roughly 7 to 8 seconds. And they also do an animation indicating when they are about to come back to Rina. You'll see them do this little cute spin and then a faster spin, and then they'll come back to Rina. What you'll want to do is try to swap often into Rina once her puppets are about to go away so that you can replenish the uptime on her puppets being out on the field. The pen ratio buff begins the moment that one of her puppets leave her side in battle, even if her puppet hasn't even hit the enemy just yet. For quick assist, using Rina's EX special when it's ready is an easy way to go into your main damage dealer, deal as much damage as possible while the puppets are on field, and if Rina's EX special isn't ready, you can quickly swap back into Rina, click her skill button to send out Anastella where she'll bounce towards the enemy, and then you'll manually swap very quickly after using Rina's skill back into your damage dealer or whoever else is on your team. Rina will still continue with the animation while you're already playing another character on your team. This is an effective way to be able to take advantage of the short uptime of her puppets and of course be able to replenish that uptime very quickly. As for Rina's additional ability, she can extend shock duration by 3 seconds, and when shocked enemies are on the field, Rina will increase the electric damage of the team by 10%. This ability is very, very good for electric teams, such as extending Grace's shock duration from triggering attribute anomaly, which is a huge source of her damage output, and giving her more electric damage on top of that, so now she could deal even more damage to enemies. Another example can be, since Rina is extending shock duration, this benefits Anton's damage output. His additional ability will be able to benefit even further as you'll be able to deal additional amounts of shock damage to shocked enemies, and since the duration of the shock is being extended from Rina's kit, this means more opportunities to deal more damage to shocked enemies with Anton. Rina's additional ability can also have the potential to be useful for future electric characters as well, and her core passive providing pen ratio allows her to be a very flexible support option for team comps, since she does not require a character of her attribute or faction in order to provide the pen ratio buff for the team. Now that we've gone over Rina's skill kit though, let's go over some combos with Rina and just some things to keep in mind while playing her. One combo I would recommend with Rina is if you are close up, it would be to use her basic combo, hold her basic attack, use her skill, and then switch tech into your main damage dealer to take advantage of the pen ratio buff. The reason why you would have her on the field a bit longer using this particular combo is that this will allow Rina to build up a decent amount of electric attribute anomaly onto the enemy, and this can be beneficial to get closer to triggering shock onto those enemies, or even to trigger disorder if you're using Rina on a team with other attributes. Most of the time though, when you play Rina, you'll want to just ensure you quickly swap in and out to have high uptime on her pen ratio buff, which consists of taking advantage of quick assists with her EX special attack, or quickly using her skill and then swapping out as mentioned a bit earlier. What I would recommend if you are using a team involving, let's say, Rina, a damage dealer, and a stun character, you can either decide to set up Rina's puppets right off the bat to have the pen ratio buff active immediately, or what you could do is use your stun character to stun the enemy. This will prevent them from moving and also increase the damage they take. You then will be able to trigger a chain attack, go into Rina to have her puppets on field with her own chain attack, and from that point go into your damage dealer. If you have your ultimate ready, definitely take advantage of it with your damage dealer, especially with Rina's puppets on the field. Then from that point on, you would just have to occasionally swap back into Rina to upkeep the pen ratio buff. Rotations will honestly differ from team to team, as some characters are able to attack faster than others, such as Grace, while other characters, such as Ellen, can benefit from having some flash freeze stacks ready to use immediately after a chain attack when you go back into her. Regarding Rina's pen ratio buff though, you don't need this buff active at all times, but being able to quickly utilize swapping in and out, taking advantage of powerful chain attacks to upkeep this buff will be worthwhile for the additional damage output it can provide your team. As for team comps you can use Rina on, she'll be incredible for electric teams. I mentioned earlier her synergy with Grace and Anton. You can make a team of all three of them for triggering a bunch of electric attribute anomaly onto enemies, or even swap Anton or Grace out. You can use a stun character in that scenario, such as Kaleda, Lycan, or Anby, or if you are using Grace, you could also consider potentially using Piper if you want to trigger a bunch of shock, assault, and disorder with this team comp. Rina isn't limited though to just electric teams. She could be useful for a majority of team comps for the buffs and utility that she can provide. If you plan to use her on an electric team, Plug Boo or Electro Boo is great for more anomaly buildup. As for other team comps, it would come down to the primary attribute of your team as for what Bangboo would be the best choice. Some nice generic Bangboos though can be Boo Rizher, I think that's how you say it, for generating energy for off-field characters, Explore Boo for supportive buffs, Sumo Boo if you have a stun character on the team, Bag Boo if you have an attack character on the team. If you have two Victoria housekeeping group characters on a team, such as Corin and Rina for example, then Butler can be a nice option. There's also Magnet Boo that you can use, which is nice when you have anomaly characters on the team, and so on. Definitely a lot of Bangboo options for sure, just ultimately comes down to your team comp. Now that we've gone over Rina's kit though, some things to consider when playing her, team versatility, let's go over how to actually build your Rina. When it comes to building Rina, you'll want to prioritize her core passive the most. This will increase the amount of pen ratio she will get from the flat rate and also lower the amount of pen ratio she will need for that threshold to get the maximum amount that you can provide for a team comp, which at maximum level, as I mentioned a little bit ago, it will be 72% total pen ratio on Rina. As for her other skills, I would recommend investing into her special attack, as you'll be using her special attack very often, especially to trigger quick assists or quickly swapping out. Her chain attack is nice to invest into as well, since she will be able to deal more of her own personal damage in days when chain attacks are triggered. If you don't intend to have Rina on the field much, then I would just honestly prioritize these skills to level up the most. As for her W engines, or as some call them Wengens, her signature Weeping Cradle will be her best option. It'll give her off-field energy regeneration, which will help towards getting her EX special attack ready faster. This W engine will also allow her to increase the damage of the team, and also it'll give her pen ratio percentage. As for alternative W engine options though, you can use Reverb Mark II, Reverb Mark III, Unfettered, Game Ball, or Slice of Time. Reverb Mark II can increase the anomaly mastery and proficiency of the team, as well as provide Rina energy regeneration, which will be very useful for getting her EX special faster. Reverb Mark III can increase the team's attack and provide Rina more HP percent. Unfettered, I do not know how to say this. The Game Ball, it can allow you to increase the crit rate of the team if Rina triggers attribute counter effect, and also provide her energy regeneration. As for Slice of Time, it can help Rina generate more energy and also generate more disciples, which will allow you to use your ultimate faster for your team. As for Rina's disc drives, you'll want to use 4-piece Swing Jazz with 2-piece Freedom Blues, or 4-piece Freedom Blues and 2-piece Swing Jazz. You could also, of course, consider an option such as Puffer Electro, which will be nice for the additional pen ratio percent it can give. But when it comes to Swing Jazz will increase Rina's energy regeneration by 20%, as well as increase the team's damage by 15% for 12 seconds if she uses her ultimate or chain attack. The 2-piece Freedom Blues would give Rina additional 30 anomaly proficiency, which would boost anomaly damage. You can also use Harmone Punk or Puffer Electro 2-piece. As for a 4-piece Freedom Blues set, this is most favorable for anomaly-centric teams that Rina is placed on. For example, if you use Grace and Rina together. 4-piece Freedom Blues will grant Rina 30 anomaly proficiency, and then when her EX special attack hits an enemy, you will lower the target's anomaly buildup resistance by 20% for 8 seconds. This will highly benefit Grace's skill kit or any anomaly-centric character, since now they can build up anomaly faster and trigger it faster as well. If you go with 4-piece Freedom Blues, I would recommend 2-piece Swing Jazz for the additional 20% energy regeneration. As I said, the reason why this is good, you'll be able to get your EX special faster on Rina. As for Rina's main stats, for Disc Drive 4, you'll want to go with attack or anomaly proficiency. Disc Drive 5, go with that pen ratio since she'll require 72% pen ratio total to maximize her core passive at max level. And for Disc Drive 6, you can go with either energy regeneration or anomaly mastery. Either is okay. I personally do favor energy regeneration though, just so once again you can get that EX special a bit faster. For Rina's substats, you'll want anomaly proficiency, attack percent, then pen and flat attack. Now that we've gone over how to build Rina though, let's discuss her Mindscapes and lastly my thoughts on her. For those though that aren't sure what Mindscapes are, they are essentially additional bonuses you can get for a character's kit if you have multiple copies of a character. For Rina's first Mindscape, her puppets Drusilla and Anastella will be on the field for an additional 5.5 seconds before returning to Rina. And the pen ratio Rina will provide from her core passive is increased to 130% by characters within 10 meters. This Mindscape is honestly huge for Rina. It'll make her buffing capabilities even more powerful, as the pen ratio she provides will massively increase. Plus, now you don't have to worry about swapping between characters as fast for her pen ratio uptime, as now her puppets will stay 5.5 seconds longer. This will allow rotations to potentially flow smoother now, and overall, this Mindscape increases Rina's buffing capabilities and gives her more quality of life benefits with the extended puppet duration. Rina's second Mindscape will increase her damage by 15% for 12 seconds, and this can be triggered every 18 seconds each time she enters combat or is swapped into. The damage increase is nice for Rina to be able to dish out more of her own personal damage. Her third Mindscape will just level up her skill levels by 2 levels. Her fourth Mindscape will increase her energy regeneration when both Drusilla and Anastella are on the field. This is great for being able to get Rina more energy at a faster rate. As for her fifth Mindscape, her skill levels will increase by 2. As for Rina's final Mindscape though, whenever an EX special attack, ultimate, or chain attack hits an enemy, then the team's electric damage will be increased by 15% for 8 seconds. Her final Mindscape is a nice additional electric damage bonus for the team and allows her to provide even more buffing capabilities, especially for electric teams in particular. As for Rina's value, I believe she is an excellent support. Her being able to provide pen ratio for any team, and for those who do play Honkai Star Rail or know of it, Rina reminds me a bit of Pela, who is able to reduce all enemy defenses, and she released in version 1.0 of the game, yet she is still a very good support option even now in version 2.3 of the game. I personally do believe that Rina will have pretty nice future value just for the utility she provides, her kit factors, The pen ratio for starters, being able to extend shock duration. This will be able to benefit electric teams now and in the future. And then also being able to boost electric damage and help contribute towards building electric anomaly onto enemies. Overall, Rina is a great supportive option, definitely one of my favorites to use. And I mean, who wouldn't love Anacilla and Drusilla? Plus Rina herself, of course. That'll be all though for my complete guide on Rina. Let me know what character guides you guys want next, and also if there are any other videos you guys would like me to make. If you did enjoy this video, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like, support the video, and stay tuned for upcoming character showcases, guides, and much more. I hope to see you all next time. Have a great one. Peace.